Good morning, everyone. Hi, Sunday. Yay. Slept in until about a little after 8. Got some good rest. It's not so cold anymore. So, I have got this really fantastic recipe that was brought to me, or sent to me, I should say, by Mary Hislop Bryce. I've been telling everybody, like I always do, you got any ideas, you got any recipes, send them to me. She sent me this fantastic maple banana bread. Now, almost a year ago, yeah, it's almost been a year ago. I think in April we did it, where I sent you my banana bread recipe that I've been making for the last 40 some odd years, close to 50 years, actually, I hate to say. And it's fantastic. Mary, in the theme of spring coming up soon, we're a little ahead of ourselves, but everybody's out there tapping now, or checking their lines, not tapping, but checking their lines for sure. That's my oven going off. I'm preheating it to 350. Everybody's checking their lines out there, which makes us think of maple syrup. So she sent me a maple banana bread recipe. So it's only going to take a couple of minutes to throw it together. It's a fantastic recipe. I have bananas that had gotten in that way. As you can see, they're brown. Be honest with you though, if it gets to, hold on to them even beyond this. If they get to black, they're surely fine. If you've got them to brown like this and you're not ready to make anything yet, just peel them off. I know that Mary and I have spoken before. She leaves them in the skin and then she cuts both ends and pops them out by squeezing. I don't. I end up actually taking them out of the peels, and I keep them intact so I know how many I have in there in the freezer when they're frozen, and I put them in sandwich bags, and I usually put 3 to a bag because that's what my recipe has. Mary's actually uses 4 medium bananas, so I've already smushed up a few, but I thought I'd show you what it's like to smush these up. But if you forget to get them at the brown stage and you're not ready to use them and you've left them to the very black stage, don't worry about that either. Black and mushy is still usable for baking. Don't throw them away. You're not ready to throw them away. You can throw them in the freezer at that point, at that black mushy stage, in the skins, and still use them. But when they're this brown, I take them out of the skin. So here we go. There's my plate. I hope you can see it. Yes, you can. There we go. So it's just as simple as just popping them right out and squishing them in the plate. Like I say, I've already got a couple done here. Her recipe called for 4 medium bananas. I actually had 5, and I know it's not going to hurt, so I'm going to add that extra banana into here and see what happens. I've never had a problem when I've had a little bit extra thrown it in here. So there you go. It's a matter of just that and squishing them down. There we go, until it gets quite runny, a little bit runny, I should say. You can see the difference. You can see the difference between what's in that bowl. See how the liquid's starting to break away from that? That's what you're looking for when you're ready to cook. They start out like this, where they still have their liquid inside them, and they're just really mushy, and in a matter of minutes, when you throw it in the bowl like that, it actually starts having that separation. So you're all set. So smushy like that. Easy as easy peasy. In the bowl it goes. So the only thing you're throwing away out of here, and I haven't quite mastered what to do, or if you could do anything with a banana peel, because I've never heard of anything. So the only thing you're wasting in this banana is the peel. We use everything. Then it's 2 cups of flour. There's one. Grabbing my other one. Here's the second one. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. This is so exciting. 1 teaspoon, yep, of baking soda right here. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I always do my measuring over the sink in case something happens. And my salt is almost gone, so I'm having a hard time filling a 1/4 teaspoon. So I'm going to go like that and kind of let it come out. It's empty. All right, there's that 1/4 teaspoon. It's all done. The bananas are already in there. I have 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar right here. 2 large eggs. Now, my eggs, I'm going to go back to the old system because we've been baking together a while, and I'm a little bit nervous that people are forgetting to do this. I've been throwing them in my bowls just to save time just to save time when I'm cooking. But I always kind of want to remind us, eggs can go bad, and you don't want anything to happen to all, when you think about all the money that you've already gotten ingredients here. So I always, before I started baking online with you guys, always open my eggs up on the side in a bowl. One, I can get any shell that falls in there out easy, and two, I can look at that egg and make sure it's okay. Yep, it's okay. So then I add it to my recipe. I've done that since I was a child. I don't know, maybe something happened really early on that I might have, I can't remember why I did it. It's been so many years now. But I just, as a precaution, I open them up, examine them here. You can see there's nothing wrong. Nope. So then I add it to my bowl. I just want you guys to get in the habit of doing that. Therefore, you never ever lose any ingredients. And then there is 1/4 cup of maple syrup. As you can see, I'm using the same dark that I did for the cookies the other night. Oh my God, speaking of those cookies, whoa, they were amazing. I was concerned that they weren't hardening up. What I didn't realize with syrup, like, you know, the peanut butter one, the regular peanut butter ones, and the chocolate peanut butter ones, those guys, they harden rather quickly, in like 15 minutes at the most. And sometimes if something's going wrong, it can take half an hour, but 15 minutes at the most, those guys harden up and you're ready to have your cookies. I forgot how syrup is, and I forgot about all the nuances of it. And so these guys hardened up sometime in the night when I left them on the counter. At first I kept saying they're not going to harden, and when I put the recipe and the video online, I was like, oh, mine were kind of sloppy, soupy, whatever. But they were soupy when they went on the table, but when I woke up the next morning, so sometime in the night, they hardened and they were fantastic. Were they super hard to the snap? No. They were a nice moist kind of hard. You can make them super hard to the snap if you boil it a little farther onto the hair. Remember we were talking about the hair? I was going to pay attention to the hair next time, not just the time limit of 3 minutes. You can control syrup so differently than you can control anything else. There is no other no-bake cookie that I would cook a second over 3 minutes, because I know that they get hard like really quickly. Syrup is a different kind of animal. It's hard to get the consistency right sometimes, and it's hard to I wonder what that was. It was just dinging. Oh, I don't know. Oh, the kids just added a picture to my photo frame. They gave me a photo frame for Christmas that they can online add pictures to, and I just was notified that Sunny sent a picture of Asher online, so I can't wait to go over and look at it, because he's 2 months old now. How very exciting. Anyway, so that's my speech and spiel on the syrup when we're going back to the other day for the Vermont maple syrup no bakes, is that, you know, make them the first time, get how you feel about it. Remember to use the dark syrup for the flavor, but know that you can control at least 3 minutes of cooking. You might want to go a little more. Look at the hair. I don't know. It depends on how you want them. But they did harden. Contrary to what I started saying when I was posting it, they did harden, just not to a dry hard. They only hardened to a nice soft hard. And the last thing in here is after the 1/4 cup of maple syrup, which is dark, because I want that flavor, not just the syrup, so I want that huge lusty flavor. Here's a stick or a 1/2 cup of butter that's melted. And that is literally all there is to this recipe. I'm just gonna, haven't made it before. This is another live together recipe. This is from Mary, and I'm very excited about it. With sugaring coming up and everybody wants to know how to use the syrup, this is another great way to use syrup. Hate to go on and on about those no-bake cookies, but oh my God, I've been making the chocolate no-bakes since I was a kid, so it's been, you know, almost 50 years, and absolutely cannot tell you how in love I am with the peanut butter ones without the chocolate, and now the maple syrup ones. I had no idea they were out there in the world, and I had no idea the flavor was so off the charts. So both of those are worth trying. Both of those recipes, they're both on my Facebook, and they're both on my YouTube. That's from a Farm Girl's Kitchen YouTube. So have a great time with those for sure. And see, the consistency of this when I'm done is about the same as the consistency of the regular banana bread we made almost a year ago. So from here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to butter my pan. My Pampered Chef, by the way. Shout out to Pampered Chef. I've had this for about 20 years. At least 20 years, yep. And I'm going to put it in a 350 oven for 50 to 60 minutes. You know the test. We talk about it all the time. You put the toothpick down when you get, I used to go to the middle of it. Like if it said 50 to 60, I'd go to 55 and I'd check it. But lately it seems like everything's been going to the end time. So I go right to the 60 minutes and check it. It's all kind of how you feel your oven works. For me, we got a new stove back in 2017. I kind of changed a little bit how I cooked. And the old stove that I had, I always kind of went to the middle and checked it. The new one, everything's pretty much the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to put it in the oven on a 350 oven, preheated 350 oven, 50 to 60 minutes. Don't forget, before you take it out, or you'll be dire consequences if you haven't checked it, that you put a toothpick right down the middle if it comes out with any kind of batter on it that's liquid, even close to liquid. Then you put it back in. I start at 5-minute intervals when I put it back in. Yeah, so that's about it. There's no frosting to this or anything. It's just like the regular banana bread, and you need no butter on this because this one is just really open in your face about putting a half a cup of butter, which is an entire stick. The one that I do, the regular banana bread, I always add, I don't know, about a half a stick in there. And I thought I was the only one that added butter to it, so you wouldn't have to butter your bread if you didn't have it around. But this one's like really in your face with a half a stick of butter. If you're not comfortable with that half a stick of butter, you don't have to use it. But a lot of that butter is to be able to have it already flavored, so you don't have to use butter at the table if you don't want to. So there you go, guys. Happy Sunday. I'm glad we're all back doing the crazy thing that we do when we do taping here. I don't know what I'll be doing later on today. I know I do have some filled cookies to make, so I don't know if I'll have time to come back on a video dinner or not, but if I do, I was thinking of making a soup of some sort, but or steak, so I'm not sure. So I'm still in the thinking process on that, but I hope you have a great time this Sunday if I don't get to talk to you again. Bye.